There. Hi, everybody. This is our regular Town of Rhinebeck town meeting for today, June 8th, 2020. I'd like to welcome you and ask you all to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks. I'd like to have a motion to approve our prior minutes of May 11th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Chauncey. Second. Thanks, Alan. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. I'd like to announce that tomorrow, June 9th, marks phase 2 of New York Fall, where restaurants will be allowed to have outdoor seating with social distancing and a host of other activities that are allowed. We will be opening our town playground and our basketball courts. The pool is remaining closed. Leagues and teams still are not allowed to practice, but we are opening the playgrounds and the basketball courts. Any other announcements or from anybody? Okay, Warren, you wanted to, are you there?
Warren.
Yo.
Yeah.
Warren?
You hear me?
Warren?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
now we can.
We,
Yeah.
we'd like
I'm
for
here.
you to speak about the news we just got from the New York State Appellate Second Division.
Yes. If you recall, back in 2016, taking a revision of a
Warren?
zoning law with regard to the, hello? I don't know why you're
Start
not
again.
hearing me. Can you hear me
Okay,
now?
start again. Yes.
Okay. Back in 2016, the town had undertaken an amendment to the zoning law with regard to the boundaries of the zoning overlay zone to be consistent with what the comprehensive plan had recommended, which was to only allow mining in that area up to the limits of what had been approved by
Warren, we can't hear you at all.
at the time of the rezoning.
Warren,
And that,
Fred,
I don't know why you can't hear me. I'm talking in the,
it's not, we can't hear you. You don't have a secure connection and you're not coming across audibly at all. There's something wrong with your connection.
I don't know. Let me screen and see if that corrects it. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
No. Yeah. Yes? No?
You come in, you're going in and out.
I don't know what else I can do. I'm not on mute. I'm
Why
on.
don't you turn the video off, Warren? That'll reduce your
all right,
bandwidth.
All right, I took that off. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Does that help?
Seems to.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll start again. Back in 2016, the town had passed an amendment to the zoning law to change the mining overlay zone comprehensive plan recommendations, which was to allow mining only in those areas that had been approved at that time by DEC. That was challenged by Red Wing Properties, Inc. And we had a provision in our zoning law that we expected that anybody who claimed that they had a prior non-conforming use and were exempt from the law as a vested right had to appeal to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a determination, which they did. And there was a very lengthy proceeding before the Zoning Board of Appeals. The Zoning Board of Appeals ruled against Red Wing and determined that they did not establish sufficient facts to prove that they had a prior non-conforming use and had a vested right to continue to mine. And the scale of the Red Wing mine has decreased over the years, and it's now, they're seeking approval for 94 acres, as opposed to, I think it was 150 acres originally. So that decision by the ZBA was challenged by Red Wing Court. There was an Article 78 action filed, and the Supreme Court in the town was the decision of Judge Rosa in 2017, who held the repealed that decision. Taken quite a while for the case to be heard, but it was heard recently, and we just got a decision a few days ago from the appellate division, which modified Judge Rose's decision to the extent use and best interest in mind. The case be remanded to Judge Rosa for her to amend her decision accordingly. So essentially, the decision of the zoning was ignored by the appellate division, and we were quite concerned about that, obviously. So we have not yet determined what we're going to do about the decision. We have several options that we're considering. We're going to be discussing it internally with John Lyons' office, who represented the ZBA in the appeal. I'm going to schedule a session to discuss our legal options, and we will decide what to do at that point.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions?
Well, I'm just going to repeat this because I think you were very difficult to hear for most of the public. We heard from the appellate division, second division, and Red Wing has prevailed in their appeal against our Supreme Court decision. So the town board needs to meet with our town attorney and the attorney for the planning board and the zoning board of appeals to see what next steps we could take, if any, to continue to, Chauncey, help me.
That's correct.
To appeal to the Court of Appeals, for one thing.
Yeah,
To
there are
see
several options.
What further options we can take to further restrict large-scale commercial mining in Rhinebeck. So the town board will be meeting with our attorney and the zoning board of appeals attorney to figure out next steps. We just heard this on Thursday afternoon late, so. Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything? Thanks, Warren. I know it's difficult to hear you for some connection reason.
I'm sorry, I don't know why that is, but
Might
can you
just
hear
be a
me now? Is that,
Yes, you go in and out, but now you're fine.
yeah, I don't know what's wrong. It's a new
So
computer.
let's move on to the rest of our meeting. We have a resolution 2020-133, an agreement with Rugi's Way Corner Holdings LLC and Rugi's Automotive Inc. with regard to the placement of certain restrictions on the operation of the conduct of said businesses in the village and the town of Rhinebeck. Warren, would you like to speak to that?
Yes, there's a a resolution on the agenda tonight with regard to an agreement made with Rugies about restrictions on their operation in the village and the town, if and when this zoning law is ever passed, that would provide what we feel is at least part of the public benefit for the rezoning application. There's been also a recent decision from the appellate division with regard to the issue of contract zoning, and we want to examine the agreement more carefully before we enter into it to make sure that there's nothing in that agreement which would violate certain restrictions on contract zoning. It is permitted, but it's restricted. And if we have to amend the agreement to address those issues, we will do it. If we feel that we don't have to do it, then we'll put it back on the agenda for approval.
We're going to table this until our next meeting. Warren, will you please
Correct.
make sure that you call Rugi's attorney and let him know that we're going to do
I
this?
do have a call into them. I haven't been able to connect with them.
Okay, thank you. We're going to table resolution number 1. Is there any, hasn't been motioned. So Warren, I think we're good now, and thank you.
Okay. All right, I'm going to leave the meeting and enjoy the rest of the meeting.
We'll try. Thank you.
Good night, Warren.
Bye. Thank you. Good night.
Night.
Okay, resolution, tab number 2, resolution 2020-134, painting the dock at the Rhine Cliff Landing. I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. I need a second.
Second.
Thanks, Alan. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. I need a motion for resolution 2020-135, granting partial refunds to participants in COVID canceled recreation programs and changing usual employment terms with recreation program instructors to allow payment of 100% of program income instead of 75. May I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Thanks, Ed. Alan, was that a second?
Yes.
Thanks. Is there any discussion here? Just for the public, we're refunding money to the people who signed up for programs like pickleball and volleyball that weren't able to be held because of COVID. Any
And
further
basketball.
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. I need a motion for resolution 2020-136 for the purchase of Adobe Acrobat Pro DC 1-year subscription for the Zoning Board of Appeals.
I'll make that motion.
Thanks, Ed. May I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Ed. The town historian would also like access to this, but she's not on our server. So how would we achieve that, Alan?
There'll be logon credentials that we'll have that she could use. I mean, I have a subscription that I use, which is my daughter's. So you can take those credentials and use them anywhere. Just need to browse it.
Can we amend this to include our town historian?
Sure.
Why not? Sure, yes, yes.
I'd like to motion an amendment to this resolution to purchase the Adobe Acrobat for our secretary. It's the secretary to the Zoning Board of Appeals and our town historian. May I have a second on that?
I'll second.
Thanks, Ed. All in favor of the amendment to the resolution?
Aye.
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 Do we have the motion on the? Oh, yes, Ed and Alan. All in favor of passing the resolution?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thanks. So we've approved it for both the secretary to the Zoning Board of Appeals and the town historian.
Right.
Thank you. Resolution tab 5, resolution 2020-137, addendum to professional service contract with the LaBerge Group for the town and village of Rhinebeck Justice Court Consolidation Study. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Chauncey. May I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Josh. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? So moved. resolution, I'll make a motion for tab 6, resolution 2020-138 for our capital projects abstracts, one check totaling $735. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Chauncey. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. I need a motion, bless you, whoever sneezed. I need a motion for resolution 2020-139 for a shared service agreement with the town of Red Hook for highway services and public works.
So moved.
Thanks, Alan. May I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Thanks. Is there any discussion or questions?
It's just a generalized one at this point. There's nothing specific, right?
It's so that we can share our equipment or labor as we do informally anyway and
Right.
bill each other for it. Yeah. We're approving it, and then the town of Red Hook. The town of Red Hook has asked us for this. We'll approve it, and they'll approve it at their next meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Resolution 2020-140, our preliminary accounts. I'll motion this. Our preliminary accounts payable extracts, 63 checks totaling $91,979.79. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Chauncey. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Resolution 2020-141, service agreement with the environmental committee intern. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Thanks, Josh. May I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Alan. Any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. I will make a motion for resolution 2020-142 for our budget transfers and amendments. May I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Ed. Are there any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Aye. Sorry.
I just also want to announce that we are selling cemetery plots again. We ceased selling pre-need cemetery plots during COVID, and now that we're in phase 2, our cemetery will be open to sell pre-need plots. We have one more discussion item that might need a resolution from the floor. Alan?
Okay, well, I have a resolution to, in light of the fact that our recreation program is dormant, to say the least. We're going to furlough Elaine Fernandez until after Labor Day. Starting, her last day of employment would have been Friday, 6/5, June 5th.
She will be furloughed, and this is a mutual agreement
Yes.
between the town board and our recreation director to furlough her from the 5th of June through, I believe, until the 8th or the 7th of September.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Chauncey. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Are there any other items for discussion or any last minute pieces of business? Okay, hearing none, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. All in favor? I
Aye.
need a second.
Second.
Thanks, Alan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thanks, guys. I'll see you soon, and thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Aye.
Bye.
Right.
Bye.